So it all starts with a blank plain white canvas or a cardstock. Simple, still, full of possibility. Watch as it transforms thread by thread, weave by weave, detail by delicate detail into something for the eyes to feast on. It's Wednesday and I'm Kathy, here with my latest white canvas chronicle. So I'm starting with a whole range of leftovers that I've had lying around on my desk and a white cardstock base. Now, if you've been watching me long enough, you know that I have a bit of a phobia with a white cardstock base. So I'm challenging myself with these white canvas chronicles to create different layouts starting with that white cardstock. So I'm just cutting up strips here that are 1 inch in width, and I'm going to use those to do some paper weaving and some hand sewing. Yes, I am going to sew on this layout. Now, I love all the colours in this, and they match the photo that I'm going to be using on this layout. It's another one for my daughter's album where she went to Dubbo Zoo with my mother. So I'm just preparing all my strips with the tape. This is a bit of a messy part of the process. It takes a bit of a while to get all of these taped up, but I thought I'd leave it in to show you how important it is to make it adhere properly onto the layout. You need that extra bit of tape on both sides of this, even though I am going to stitch them down into place. So once I have these in place, I'm going to line up all my strips, and then we're going to get started with the paper weaving. Now, I do have a bit of a fixation with paper weaving at the moment, so I've done a couple of layouts recently with the paper layering and weaving, and I just like how they turn out, so I thought this would be great on the white. So I'm just looking at the order that I have these in and placing them to the best so that I can achieve some white space, but also that decorative weaving appeal that I like with the paper. So I'm not taking all the tape off. I'm going to take it off a little bit at a time as I work my way through the weave. That makes it a little bit easier to do, but you do see as I progress through this how that also complicates the problem, because I get pieces of tape everywhere, and I then have to fix it up. Now that one there is looking a little not straight, so I've just readjusted it. Now, paper weaving is an old technique. It's something that we do in kindergarten for fine motor skills and continue through school. So I love paper weaving. I find it relaxing. And so it's just that under, over, and you watch, I already make a mistake in my first round of it. It's really crazy. And then I look at it and I start hearing it down and go, hang on a second, I don't think I've done that right. I'm just checking. And then I realize that no, I have not done it right. I have to go under, over, not over. So I'm readjusting that first strip. Once I get that into place, then I can get moving on the rest. So as I move the tape down, it holds it in place and it doesn't allow for movement, which is great because we don't want it moving as we're moving across the paper weave. And I'm just putting it into place. And this is, as you can see, that tape, the tape that is holding the stickiness is just a little bit frustrating. So I'm going one at a time, a little bit at a time, and it's going under and over. So it does take a little bit of fussing and it does take a little bit of concentration, but when it's done, it does look really creative, as you can see happening on this layout now. Now, I did put only 5 strips going vertically, and I have got 7 strips going horizontally. I wanted that uneven part because I still wanted some white showing on the canvas, and that can either be for journaling or it can just be a landing space for your clusters. And as you can see, when I go through this layout, I use it more as the landing space for my cluster. So I'm getting in this last strip. I know this takes a bit of a time, but as you can see, that process now looks very effective with that paper weave. It's like a basket, looks like a basket on the page, and I love the colors in this. They're rich and bright and earthy, and they do reflect the photo when you see it when I place it on the layout. Now, the next step I need to do is to do my stitching, and in order to do that, I am going to use my stitch guide here that I got from MK, and I'm just going to go down and put in the single dots because I'm going to do a loose running stitch down each of the strips and hold them in place. The ones that run across, I'm not going to stitch all the way across. I'm going to do sort of the under over effect on the layout, and it just gives it a little bit more interest. Now, if you're really smart, and I should have been smart, you would mark where your photo and clusters are going to be so you don't stitch, but I actually stitched the whole layout. And you can see here, I've gone off screen and put all those holes into place. That took a bit of an effort. And now I'm starting the stitching process, and I'm using some thread, and I'm using 2 strands of DCM thread, and I've got an orange and a green that I'm going to use for this process. So I'm just starting. I won't make you watch me stitch it. I'm not going to lie, it took a long time. Like, it was a long time stitching, but that's because I'm slow. There are other people who are much faster than I am at stitching, and they probably knock it over in half the time that I did, but it did take me a long time, not going to lie. So I didn't make you sit there and watch that whole process, but you can see that stitching across. It is a loose, lacy stitch. It is a running stitch. It reminds me of my Kawindi that I've been doing, and it just patches it together and holds it in place. So there's my photo of my mum and my daughter. They're outside of Western Plains Dubbo Zoo. It was in October last year, and it was quite warm. So I'm going to try something different this time. I am going to layer up my embellishments on the board here, my Stampin' Up glass board, so that when I go to adhere them in place, I know where I wanted them and don't realign them or rejudge them or mix them up a bit more. So I am going to get a Scrapbook Fantasies board. Alicia has done one for this particular purpose, that it's an overlay board, and you just layer your embellishments where you want them to go, so that when you lift it off, you can just move that whole embellishment cluster and it looks exactly the same when you put it back on your page. So I am popping these into place. I'm just layering them up. These are all from Scrapper Sketch from their zoo printables. I just love the icons that she produced for this range, and they fit perfectly with this page and the theme of the layout. So I'm just layering them up so they've got a good spread across those 3 cluster points, and they match the colors of the papers that I'm using as well so brilliantly. So I'm just making sure that I've got everything that I want on the page. I want a bit of blue because I want to pop the blue from my mum's shirt and the blue sky. I have the oranges and the yellows from that sign, from the greens in the trees, and you can just see how this has all come together. And the strips of paper, they just reflect the photos as well. And I'm really sorry that you can hear Jack in the background. He's screeching away. So I went off screen and I adhered all of my clusters down as I had them on the board, and you can see it just went perfectly. I need to do that more often. They're exactly how they were when I first placed them. They're now down and in the right spot. So I am adding some Nuvo drops here to finish off my clusters, setting up that visual triangle with my sets of 3 Nuvo drops. I have got some popped up on foam, and I have left that journaling space at the very top there so my daughter can journal her own journaling, because it is for her memory. I will just add down the bottom that it was October 2024. Yeah, 24, not 25. So yeah, last year she did this in the last long weekend of October. So there's my layout. I started with a plain white cardstock, and I've turned it into a visual site for you all. I hope that you enjoyed the process, and I hope that I've done something to inspire you to pull out your strips of paper and white cardstock. Now, I'm not going to lie, that stitching took a long time, but I do like the effect and the texture that it adds to the layout. So thanks for popping in for this white canvas chronicle today. I really am impressed with how this turned out. I hope I get a thumbs up from you. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. I'm trying to hit that magic 700. Your subscription really does count. Leave me a comment. I will get back to you, I promise. Stay creative, friends. and I'll see you in the next video that I have right here on this page for you now. See you soon.